Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Friday Gear Show and the Black Diamond showroom in Innsbruck. I'm here with Jonathan. So Jonathan, what do you do for Black Diamond?
Yeah, first of all, welcome. I'm the head of product for Europe, so kind of creating that liaison between our headquarters in Salt Lake and the European market.
Okay, well today we're talking about shoes, and straight away I can tell by the profile of this shoe that this isn't some kind of a gym bouldering thing. This is for the high mountains and big walls, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited about this shoe. So this is the Aspect Pro for Spring/Summer 23. Really excited because it's my favorite type of climbing, where you'd use this kind of shoes, like high up in the alpine terrain, long granite routes above a beautiful glacier, or in the US, if you'd go to the valley, Yosemite Valley, and climb big wall climbing, that's the shoe for it.
Well, let's look at that, because why can't you just take, let's say, a bouldering shoe up a big wall? What's the differences you need? Why do you need a different type of shoe?
Yeah, typically it depends. Some people obviously can, and if you climb really hard, you might take a more aggressive sport climbing shoe on those big walls, but typically those routes, when you're going to the high alpine, you maybe step down away, and you'd need way more support because your feet get really tired after long days. And that's what this type of shoe does. So they're way stiffer, so with the whole midsole just giving you that good support, so you just can climb those 15 or 20 pitches throughout your 10-15 hour day. And then just the mid-height rise of the shoe will give you some extra protection when climbing in those chimneys or off with cracks, so you don't just, yeah.
Okay, well, it's easy to think of that and think Yosemite, obviously, but I live in Chamonix, and there are some big walls there. You spend a lot of time climbing cracks. And I'm excited by this because it's the support aspect of it. Because when you've been on a wall for 8-9 hours, it's knackering on the feet. It's exhausting.
Definitely. And that's also, this type of shoe I'd always recommend, and typically if you'd go trad climbing, to not size it as you would your normal sport climbing shoes maybe, where you'd want your foot, and it's constructed in such a way that it is a rather comfy fit, and you'd want your toe to be relatively flat in the shoe, because when you then just jam them in the crack, you don't get and squeezes your toe knuckles in the cracks, because that would hurt, especially after 10 hours.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, let's talk rubber compounds, because how do you make it stiffer? Because I mean, compared to something like the Method S, for example, this is clearly different.
No, definitely. So it's the full length midsole is the one thing. So inside, something you don't see here, which is way stiffer, that gives the whole stiffness of the shoe and also torsional stiffness. And then there's the actual compound of the rubber, which is different than, for example, the Method S that we reviewed. This one is a little less sticky, but for that also way more durable and has better edging ability, because this shoe is both optimized for crack climbing, but also edging, something you'd typically have on granite routes.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that, because granite slabs, for example, you think slab, you think softer shoe, and yet there's those little bobbles in the rock, you know, like little crystals, and having a stiffer shoe means you can stand on those crystals within the slab itself. That's what I found anyway.
Exactly. And if you're used to soft shoes, it might need a little bit of time to readjust, because the sensitivity and the feel will be different, and you'll just need to get used to how can I work with this shoe. But once you have it, there's definitely way more advantages, in my opinion, to use such a shoe for longer.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think it does take some getting used to. Round the ankle, it's nice and padded. That's presumably just to protect it when you've got your foot wedged in a crack and you're talking, you're twisting. Because I've come away so many times with like blood trickling down my ankles into my socks.
Exactly. No, it's just for that added protection, definitely. And if you'd be really hardcore, you could even just tape your pants or socks within that if you'd go really upside down.
That's a good tip. I've never thought of that. That's a really good tip. It looks like a wider shoe down at the front.
It is slightly on the comfort fit, and this is only one. It's a unisex model, so it's not overly wide, but it is built to have that rather flat fit for your foot, so that it's optimized for crack climbing and you don't squeeze your toe knuckles in. And then you'll have on the front here, you'll see there's some added material just to protect also the shoe and your foot when jamming the foot in the crack.
Okay, cool. And I like the lace-up aspect of it, especially with a big mountain shoe, because you don't spend time just taking your shoes off between pitches, mainly because you might drop it down the cliff.
Yeah, and hopefully you won't need it with these.
Yeah, you can loosen it up and it feels a bit better, or tighten it for a hard bit.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, look, it's a very interesting shoe. It's not going to suit everyone. There's not everyone doing that type of climbing. But for people who know, they know.
Definitely, definitely. And one thing to add, a cool detail I think, and relevant in today's world, the upper leather is Eco Dry Tan leather, which is optimizes the water it uses in the manufacturing process, using way less, 20 times less water than regular leather.
So eco-friendly as well.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, looking forward to getting my hands on one of these because it will suit my type of climbing as well. When can we buy this?
Same as the Method S, coming out spring/summer 23, and will retail at 170 euros.
Okay, cool. Well, if you guys want to check out the rest of the Black Diamond shoe range, there's links down below. Jonathan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon.